whole Kharkiv region is on fire. The occupiers are advancing like a black cloud. Our forces strike without mercy. The enemy's equipment is falling apart under these powerful blows. In Toretsk region, chaos reigns. The Putin army is left with nothing, like at a broken trough. They don't know what to do. The Ukrainian armed forces are shelling them. Artillery hits its targets, and drones show no mercy. The occupiers can't keep up with counting their losses. I'll break down the operational situation on the battlefield in the following report. In the Kharkiv region, in one of the villages, the National Guard's aerial reconnaissance spotted a dugout with occupiers inside. The FPV drone operators responded quickly and accurately. Near another settlement, they detected an enemy assault group. Choosing the right moment, our drone destroyed part of the enemy group, while the rest fled. In addition, they managed to destroy the occupiers' field ammunition depot. In the Vovchansk direction, the Falcon unit discovered an enemy artillery piece in a forest belt. Its barrel, still hot after firing, left a thermal trace that was spotted by the vampire bomber. After that, our defenders also struck the command and control post, a shelter with enemy personnel and enemy vehicles. The Phoenix border guards are destroying enemy equipment in the Kupiansk direction. Over the course of 7 days, they neutralized 2 tanks, 3 armored fighting vehicles, the same number of IFVs and APCs, 2 howitzers, a Rapira cannon, 6 trucks and a car, a fuel depot, and an ammunition cache. The Chimera fighters, as part of Timur's special unit of the main intelligence directorate, successfully completed a combat mission in the Kupiansk sector. Our soldiers managed to hold a wide section of the front and stabilize the defense. The video shows the key stages of the operation, storming enemy positions, evacuating the wounded, and the work of UAV units. The Ukrainian Chimera took the lives of more than 30 occupiers. Over 40 were wounded and 2 were taken prisoner. In the Siversk direction, the enemy once again attempted to storm the positions of the Edelweiss brigade. They deployed 19 motorcycles, 3 buggies, and about a platoon of infantry. After our fire strike, the enemy suffered losses. 3 were taken prisoner, 18 were eliminated, and 5 more were wounded. Almost all of the enemy's equipment was destroyed. Fighters of the Freedom Forces Battalion of the 4th National Guard Brigade, Rubish, repelled the Russian onslaught. The video shows footage captured by our drones. In just the first minutes of repelling the attack, 1 tank and 3 armored vehicles of the occupiers were hit. In the Kramatorsk sector, drones from the Phoenix unit are destroying the occupiers' equipment and logistics. 2 Grad multiple rocket launch systems, an enemy UAV command post, a cannon and ammunition depot, 4 trucks and 5 vehicles were destroyed. And the soldiers of the 5 separate assault brigade have taken out an artillery gun, a mortar installation, and an infantry shelter of the Russian army. In the Toretsk direction, occupiers who are spreading out across settlements and trying to entrench themselves in the ruins are being eliminated with airdropped munitions. The strike drone operators of the 12th Azov Brigade use precise airdropped munitions to hit Russians no matter where they hide. Despite the enemy's constant attempts to locate our positions, the fighters provide round-the-clock cover for the infantry on the front line. The soldiers of the Chervona Kalina Brigade showed footage of their artillery in action in the Pokrovsk direction. Modern warfare is all about drones and gadgets, but good old artillery still matters, and when a skilled force knows where to strike, the enemy can't escape. The Spartan fighters also achieved successful results. These are shots of yet another strike on Russian Zits and their armor. In the Novopavlivka direction, the Marines demonstrated their skills. In the footage, the occupier shelters are blown to pieces. Our drone pilots are giving a masterclass.
In the Pokrovsk direction, the enemy tried to use their numerical advantage to break through our defenses in the areas of the settlements of Poltavka, Malinivka, Yelizavetivka, Myrolubivka, Zvirov, and Kotlin. In the Novopavlivka direction, the enemy is concentrating its offensive efforts in the area of Kostiantynopol, Bohatyr, and Burlatske. The enemy attacked the positions of our defenders near Zaporizhzhia and Donetsk region using motorized equipment.
In the Pokrovsk district, enemy drones are monitoring the roads, while glide bombs and artillery strike residential neighborhoods every day. Police officers are trying to break through to the frontline villages. This time, they evacuated 2 elderly women and 2 men. They managed to evacuate 4 locals from Mirnograd. Currently, about 2,900 people remain in the city. With faith in the armed forces of Ukraine, Tetiana Litvin reporting Inter-TV channel United News Marathon.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine today. Join us now.
Even more weapons and a new ally on the move. France is entering Ukraine with UAV production. Macron is no longer hesitating, is launching real production capacities. Game-changing drones are already on the horizon. We'll tell you right now how this will help finish off Putin's army.
Military cooperation between Ukraine and France is reaching an entirely new level. The head of France's Ministry of Defense announced the creation of a joint venture for the production of military equipment and officially unveiled joint drone production in our country.
We are launching an entirely new partnership within which a major French automotive company will join forces with French small or medium-sized defense enterprises to set up production lines in Ukraine for manufacturing drones.
The French minister called this partnership mutually beneficial for both official Paris and Kyiv. Although the details of the future cooperation and information about the company are being kept secret, domestic analysts consider this a powerful boost for the dynamically developing Ukrainian defense industry.
Ukrainian designers and engineers who are developing new models of drones are advancing by leaps and bounds. It's really awesome, both the guys and the girls.
Even the French Minister of Defense himself can't hide his admiration for our defense industry. Le Cornu believes that Ukrainians are the best in Europe when it comes to developing and using drones. And for France, it is a great honor that our defenders have agreed to share their unique experience with Europe.
There is no need to ask French citizens to work on the production line in Ukraine. Ukrainians are better than us at developing drones and, most importantly, at shaping the doctrine of their use.
All the drones produced at the newly established Ukrainian-French factory are intended for the armed forces of Ukraine. In the future, these drones will also be available to the French. Ukraine will also provide official feedback to Paris regarding the use of these drones in combat conditions. The first such data is expected to be sent to our Western partners very soon.
Now, drones can fly out, swim out, or crawl out anywhere and send their regards to Russian equipment.
Ukraine has combat experience. France has a powerful industrial base. This is a mutually beneficial and strategic partnership.
The Ukrainian and French ministers also plan to expand industrial cooperation, including the participation of Western companies in the production of equipment for the needs of the armed forces of Ukraine. In particular, in addition to drones, Ukrainian-French production of air defense systems is being discussed. It is expected that they will be assembled either in Ukraine or on the territory of France.
A real sensation. The Russians made a serious blunder. A Ukrainian trace was found in the Shaheds. Experts are shocked. The enemy is embedding our signal into their drones. Ukraine is going all in. A trap for the occupiers. A battle of intellects is happening right now on the battlefield. How it works and what it means more in the report. Shaheeds connected to the Ukrainian network.
Every day we find these modems and SIM cards.
How are Ukrainian SIM cards helping the enemy? Is it reconnaissance using our signal, telemetry, or remote control?
In recent weeks, the media have been actively discussing the topic of Shaheds being equipped with Ukrainian SIM cards. Reports in the media have mentioned drones connecting to cell towers, that SIM cards make the mopeds more resistant to electronic warfare, allow for route adjustments, and even enable video transmission. We are finding out what role mobile SIM cards actually play, what objectives the enemy is pursuing, and how Ukrainian forces are countering them. Serhiy Flash Beskreznov, head of the Center for Radio Technologies, says they study the remains of Shaheeds every day and exclusively demonstrates the internal components of enemy devices.
Indeed, we find GSM modems inside the Shaheds. I brought one here to show you what they look like. This is a very ordinary standard commercial LTE modem made in China and other countries. And inside these modems, we find SIM cards. These SIM cards are either from the Russian Federation or sometimes they are roaming SIM cards or occasionally Ukrainian SIM cards from Vodafone, Kyivstar or LifeCell.
According to Flash, a modem with a Ukrainian operator's SIM card was first found in a downed UAV 2 years ago. There was a Kyivstar SIM card, and the first modems with MIMO antennas, which improve connection quality, were simply taped by the Russians directly to the body of the device. This indicated a field experiment, not mass production.
Why are the Russians doing this? They installed so-called trackers in the Shaheds, and these trackers transmit information to Russia. Where is the Shahed flying? This could be its speed or altitude. This information is important to our enemy to study our air defense. If its signal disappears, the enemy knows.
It was either brought down by radar or destroyed. The Russian drone operator marks these points on the map and prepares to bypass Ukrainian electronic warfare and air defense systems. Telemetry data from UAVs, coordinates, trajectory and signs of interference are used by the enemy to plan further strikes, as confirmed to Ekonomiczna Prawda by the Defense Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense.
As of today, SIM cards can be purchased in Ukraine without a passport or any personal identification. The enemy can obtain such SIM cards and install them in their drones. There are rumors that SIM cards may also allow for flight adjustments through certain other communication channels through other information services. However, no one has received confirmation of this recently. We have no confirmation that this signal can be stable.
Experts comment that in serial production, Shaheds do not have either cameras or communication systems that would allow them to be controlled in real time. So the GSM module is simply a tracker for monitoring the status of Shaheds, including those that have crashed not far from the launch site. Therefore, the occupiers also install Russian SIM cards in mopeds. Ukraine also uses this technology.
I want to tell you even more. During that famous historic operation carried out over the weekend to neutralize part of Russia's nuclear triad, Russian LTE networks were also used with the help of Russian SIM cards.
On May 25, Russia practiced the total network shutdown during a drone attack. In Ukraine, there are currently no plans to carry out mass blocking of subscribers. They are developing algorithms for blocking SIM cards without harming the population, since communication is critically important for civilians, the military and emergency services alike.
Our security services are working very closely with mobile network operators, and we are developing special measures, special algorithms. We are able to find all these modems in the network and disconnect them very quickly. This algorithm includes, for example, a model of where the SIM card was purchased and how quickly it moves across the territory of Ukraine. We might have some BMW enthusiast who also likes to move quick driving fast somewhere on the highway, and the algorithm could mistakenly identify him as a hostile Shahed drone. And our task is to prevent this from happening.
Another solution to complicate the tracking of enemy drones is the substitution of the digital field, the so-called spoofing.
You can even deceive the system and feed it certain diversionary information, which sometimes allows the Shahed drone to turn back toward Russia or Belarus.
Because of this, during attacks, Ukrainian smartphones may suddenly display a false location in another region or even another country. As for selling SIM cards with passport registration, experts' opinions differ. They say it's an important component of national security, but at the same time, it creates difficulties for citizens and is unlikely to solve the problem on a global scale. At the same time, the Verkhovna Rada will for the second time initiate meetings with mobile operators to address the issue of SIM cards being used in enemy drones. Jarina Markiv, Podrovici, Inter TV channel, United News. That's not all for this topic. I was with you, Darina Hutsakalu. Even more hellish news from the front lines in our next broadcast. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. See you soon.